All right, let's just dive right in. Today we're getting into the mind of one of philosophy's most, well, let's call them challenging thinkers, Arthur Schopenhauer. He gets a reputation for being a bit of a downer, but stick with me here, because his ideas about reality are absolutely fascinating.
So, right off the bat, a little challenge from the man himself. He wasn't exactly known for his humility, was he? He's basically daring us to see if we can get on his level. So, hey, consider this your official invitation to join the rare few.
To do that, we have to start with the huge question that drove his entire way of thinking. Seriously, just look around you for a second. Is any of it truly, fundamentally real? Schopenhauer's answer is a big, resounding, kinda. Here's the deal. He says reality is basically split down the middle. There's the world we see and touch and hear, what he calls the world as presentation, and then there's what's going on behind the curtain, the raw power source of everything, the world as will. If you can get this split, you've got the key to his entire philosophy. Okay, so let's start with the world we think we know. The world of stuff, of colors, of sounds, the world as presentation.
According to Schopenhauer, this world isn't just out there, existing on its own. It's more like space, time, cause and effect. They aren't features of the world. They're the operating system in your brain. They're the software that you use to make sense of everything. As he famously put it, the world is my idea.
And to really hammer this point home, he borrows this amazing concept from Hindu philosophy, the veil of Maya. It's this beautiful, complicated illusion, the world of appearances that we all just accept as real, that's hanging between us and what's actually going on.
So, if the world we experience is just a veil, what in the world is behind it? This is Schopenhauer's big moment, the big reveal. This is him pulling back the curtain to show us the engine that runs the universe.
Behind all the separate things we see, trees, stars, even ourselves, there is one single, unified force. And he gives this force a name, the will.
Now hold on. When he says will, don't think of your personal willpower, like deciding to go to the gym. No, Schopenhauer's will is a cosmic thing. And the most important thing to know about it is that it's totally blind. It's like a weed pushing its way through concrete. It doesn't know what it's doing. It just has this unstoppable, mindless drive to be. And number two, this force is in a constant state of striving. It's like a cosmic hunger that can never be filled. It's just this restless, churning energy that is always wanting, always pushing, and it's never, ever satisfied. And here is the part that is really, truly unsettling. All of this cosmic effort, all of this striving, it's all for nothing. The will is not building towards some grand finale. It has no goal, no purpose. It just strives. For the sake of striving, that's it. So the main takeaway here is, the fundamental reality of everything, this will, is a blind, purposeless, and endlessly hungry force. And since every living thing is just a little piece of this will, we are all basically hardwired for a life of endless, unsatisfiable wanting. And for Schopenhauer, that is the source of all conflict, all suffering, period. Which brings him to his most famous and, pretty grim conclusion. If our lives are just an expression of a constant, pointless striving that can never be fulfilled, then life itself is suffering. When you want something and don't get it, that's pain, and when you do get it, you just get bored and want something else. I know, that sounds incredibly bleak, right? A cosmic treadmill of pointless desire. But believe it or not, Schopenhauer doesn't just leave us there in the dark. He actually offers a couple of escape hatches from this tyranny of the will.
The first escape route he points to is a temporary one. It's just a moment of relief, and you find it in art.
Think about it. When was the last time you were totally lost in a piece of music, or just captivated by a painting? In that moment, where did all your anxieties go? Your to-do list? Schopenhauer calls this a state of will-less contemplation. For just a little while, your own personal striving, your own little piece of the will, it just goes quiet. In that moment, you stop being a little cog in the machine of the will. You become what he calls a pure subject of knowledge, just observing the world without needing or wanting anything from it. And that feeling, that's what aesthetic pleasure is. It's a short, sweet vacation from the prison of our own wanting. But art is just a quick break. For a deeper, more permanent escape, Schopenhauer says we have to move from looking at paintings to looking at each other. We have to move to ethics, and specifically to compassion. The entire foundation of his ethics can be summed up in another ancient phrase from Sanskrit, tat tvam asi. It literally means, this is you.
So what does that mean? It's the profound, deep-down realization that the separation you feel between yourself and someone else, it's an illusion. It's just the veil of Maya doing its thing. Behind our separate bodies, we are all just different expressions of the exact same single will. The suffering you see in them is, on the deepest level, your own suffering.
This quote just lays it all out there, doesn't it? When we cause someone else pain, it's really just the will biting its own tail, without realizing it's only hurting itself. So true compassion isn't just a nice feeling, it's a form of knowledge. It's recognizing this fundamental unity we all share.
And that insight, that compassion, leads to the final and most radical step in Schopenhauer's whole system, the complete denial of the will to live. Now, it is so important to get this right. He is not talking about suicide. In fact, he sees suicide as the biggest possible confirmation of the will. The person who does that still wants life. They're just furious about the life they've got. Asceticism, though, that's the true denial. That's a person consciously turning away from all the will's demands, for pleasure, for success, for life itself. It's quietly stepping off the treadmill altogether.
And that's where he leaves us, with this final, really challenging thought. If you follow Schopenhauer's path all the way to the end, where do you end up? In a state that's beyond striving, beyond our world of appearances, beyond the will. He calls it nothingness, but it's not an empty void. It's only nothing compared to our world of constant wanting. So is that the ultimate peace? Is that the final wisdom? That's the question Schopenhauer leaves for us to think about.